Okay. Okay, my name is Rick McKinney. I am a representative for Texoral. I'm actually the vice president for operations. The manager who usually does these type of negotiations is on health reasons, so hopefully not too serious.
Hmm.
Um, so from what information I have, you and your wife have been management of this service station, in particular for my company for like 12 years. Is that
That's
correct?
correct. That's correct. Yes.
Okay. And you're selling because of, I guess, just family reasons. I was reading some ads that you have posted. Hopefully not too serious. So
Mm-mm.
hopefully things work out for you and your wife. Um, I guess on since you've been manager, you and your wife for 12 years, I guess my one question is the underground gas tank. Do you know offhand when you first got contracted with my company 12 years ago, do you know how old those gas tanks are?
Not off the top of my head. I'd probably
Okay,
have to look at that real quick. I could probably find out. Um, I'd have to get back with you on as far as the
that's
actual
fine.
age
That's
of it.
fine. Because I know with these underground gas tanks, the lifespan's only like maybe 20 years. Um, so I'm kind of assuming if it was brand new when you first, signed the contract, in about 8 years, of course, my company's got to replace those.
Hmm.
Um, Also, like I said, these are just some things my company is kind of want me to ask. The other
Sure.
thing, I'm sure you guys do a monthly DEP inspection with the Department of Environmental Protection Agency, as far as checking the pumps, checking the hoses, just making sure everything is in good working order, that there's no
Yes, we do.
leaks.
That's
Okay,
correct. Yeah.
okay, good, good. Okay. Um, and I know that with with other service stations, this in particular, I know there's going to have to be some, unfortunately, some upgrades for these gas pumps that my company's going to have to invest in also. Um, let's see. I guess my one question, and again, is going back to the underground gas tank. Um, would you and your wife be willing to, addition to the contract, if we agreed on a set price that it works, works best for both of us, of course,
Hmm.
would you be willing to add a environmental contingency clause? In other words, what this would be is, let's say I do an inspection, or someone I have does an inspection, an assessment,
Hmm.
and they find some contaminant that is discovered,
Hmm.
okay? And that's going to probably fall on you and your wife to get that corrected. Would you be willing to sign something like that? Like I said, it's just something that, like I said, we don't know exactly how old these tankers are. And that's what my company's kind of worried about with the government regulations, environmental regulations. We got to make
Right.
sure we get our I's dotted and our T's crossed. Would that be something that you and your wife be willing to sign?
It would be something that we could take into consideration once
Okay,
down the road. It would definitely be
okay,
something that's become in consideration
okay.
uh, if we get to that point. I guess a question I have for you. I know there, as you know, I've owned this station for 12 years, and I've worked with my wife for very long hours, keeping this upkeep and keeping it well done. And
Right,
it's very, I've had several different offers from several different businesses. And
right,
so now at this point, I don't want to just leave this station to just anyone. So
right.
I guess my question to you guys is why do you want to purchase the station from me?
Well, and I want to go back to what you just said. I mean, YouTube and great managers, so it's going to be very hard to replace you guys. I hate for you guys to be leaving. The purpose, of course, my company is growing,
Mm-hmm.
and they want to expand on, you know, as far as maybe with they're trying to make sure they're focusing on if they're going to purchase a gas station, they want to make sure that it's in a well um, traffic area community.
Yes.
Some of the stations we own are not they're not in the best area. So
Right.
that's why yours is such a eye opener. I mean, yours you have a great opportunity. I mean, you got a great area, a lot of traffic. Um, and so that's why we're so interested in your service station.
Yes, I do
And
know that.
also and also just to make sure that, wherever if we come to agreement, I want to make sure that it works best for both of us, of course.
Mm-hmm. What would be your company's plan for my station for the next 5 years? Like, what do you plan? Like, my I just don't want to leave it and then come back and have a situation where the station is
Exactly.
worse off. It's almost like you're
Exactly.
leaving your child with someone. Make sure that they take care of it.
Exactly. And I see your point. Like I said, you two have been great managers. I wish I could, hopefully to find someone just as good as you both. The plan is, of course, upkeeping. We got to make sure that the pumps, is upkeep to the specific regulations.
Right.
Of course, and again the gas tanker, got to make sure we got to see what condition that's in. And like I said, within 8 years, we're going to replace that. Since, and I understand you don't quite know the age of it. That's one of the plans. So it's more of upgrading, making sure it's compliant with government regulations, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and just keep upkeeps. You've been doing very well with this, and we want to keep going with this. And I don't want you and your wife to worry. We're not going to buy and say, hey, you know what? It's good enough, and then leave it. It's not going to happen like that. Like I said, it's going to be hard for us to find someone because we're going to really have to take applications and just look for someone, hopefully just as good as you guys, because we want the same thing you want. We want this to still run efficiently,
Mm-hmm.
and also keep upkeeps. And when I expect whoever the new manager will be, I'm going to express that to them. Any issues, anything go wrong, you need to contact us or get it fixed. And for the next 5 years, I'm sure the manager, once he's well enough, he will be doing on-site inspections himself just to make sure it is upkeep. So no worries there.
That's good. We were talking about it earlier. I did want to just double check a few things, but yes, the equipment that I have, it might not be the state of art, because as you mentioned, it is a little bit older, but it does meet all environmental requirements. So we're good on that completely.
Okay, good.
So, I mean, honestly, what it is, and the reason that you had mentioned, you'd asked what was going on as far as us selling. My wife and I are 50 years old. We've got to the point where we've been doing this for quite some time. And we would like to go and sort of see the world. And once we see the world, we want to be able to live comfortably doing that. Now, to be able to do that comfortably, we can't just, leave this to just anyone, right? And to that aspect. So that's really where we are as a family, looking to go forward. We would like to be able to sell this and be able to, look at the future for our family, and then as well to make sure that when we leave, the station is taken care of, kind of looking at the future, but also looking in the past as far as cleaning that up. So,
Yeah.
I,
Like I said, you guys, honestly, 50 years old is still young, but
mhm,
I see your point. Like I said, you've taken so good care of this. That's where it's going to be hard for my company because, as you well know, there's a lot of people, they want a job, but they don't want to work. That's the
right,
problem.
right,
Now, my company's going to be facing. So
right,
this is going to be a long, just going through all these applications, and it's going to be a tough decision because we want the same thing that you want. This is kind of like something that you've grown and attached to, and
mhm,
you want to make sure the way you've taken care of it, whoever is going to be, taking care of us also, they got to make sure they take it just as good or better. So that's what my company wants also. But like I said, and I do understand, you want to see the world. I mean, I wish I could do that, but unfortunately, I got to answer to the higher ups.
right.
Um, I'm going to go ahead and make an offer, okay? And and based on, like I said, what we talked about, the pumps, the hoses, we got to do some upgrading and some other upgrades, especially for the underground gas tanker, because that's one thing that my company is very concerned about because of the age of it. My offer right now, my company's allowing me $300,000.
With everything you had said as far as the pumps and upkeep and so forth, I understand that completely as far as what you're mentioning. That though, I can firmly say that without a shadow of a doubt, it would meet all environmental requirements.
Right.
Now, as far as the upkeep and so forth, I think that would be um, be more than taken care of, because I believe with a company like yours, in just like you said, the positioning of the station is so great that you can make great headway with. There's a night shift at the port that, if
Uh-huh.
you tapped into, would make you tremendous gains. Um, so for me, I believe that the station is worth actually $630,000. I could easily sell it for that and be fine. I could
Mhm.
also, if you wanted me to, throw in that clause as well, just for the simple fact that I believe that with the location, you would be able to pay for any kind of repairs that you may need, which I don't think there would be, that many, especially right now, plus make a profit considerably.
Right. Let me ask you this. I don't know. How many gas pumps does your station have?
I would have to double check on that because I don't think that
Okay.
information is
Okay.
readily in front of me. But
Okay.
I do know
Um,
that it would be, there's considerable, I think, gains to be made
right.
with, like I said, the port and the business that could come from that.
Right.
And you've got to realize too that this is 12 years and 12 years of 18-hour plus days for my wife and I, that we
Right.
poured into this. So,
Oh yeah. I definitely
um,
understand.
as far as um, that's kind of where I'm looking as far as the um, price point for this right
Right.
now.
And I know your annual income. I see that it's 75,000 annually, um, because of the upkeeps. And like I said, I know I want to work with you and your wife. Definitely, I definitely want to make sure this works out for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the upkeeps, and again, it's going back to the underground gas tanker. You probably, let me ask you this one, because you might not know. Do you know how many gas tankers you have underground?
No.
Okay. Like I said, in about 8 years, we got to replace those, and those cost around 50,000 or more just to replace it. That's not counting digging it up. That's not counting to make sure it's environmentally safe. So that's so by the time we get all these upgrades, it may be at least, I'm going to say 8 to 10 years
Hmm.
before we start getting this to turn around because it's more upkeeps. So, and I see your point. So here's, and I like I said, my company has authorized me to go so high.
Hmm.
So hopefully you and your wife can understand that. If it was me, I say, okay, but unfortunately I got to deal with the higher ups. So they're kind of laying down the hammer right now. Um,
Right.
the, the highest I can go, the highest, and I, like I said, so with all we got to do and everything that we had to put money back into to make sure that you and your wife
Hmm.
don't need to worry about what's going to happen with the service station. Are they really taking care of it? You could always drive by and see us working on it because we're going to be starting on this right away, but it's going to take time to get, of course, a manager and make sure they have the same thinking mentality you and your wife has. So the best I can do, and this is the best I can do, considering all we have to do on our side, $360,000. That is pretty much the highest I can go on this.
Yeah, unfortunately, um, with that price point, there would be no way I could walk away from it. Just because with the financial obligations that I would have
Right.
as far as my wife and I and our future,
Uh-huh.
under that price point, there would be no way for us to um, be able to walk away from the station and to be able
Right.
to do it um, comfortably, or not
Right.
even comfortably, just to be able to survive. You know what I mean? Um, I appreciate that offer, but yeah, unfortunately, with that, there's no. I could. Um, I could drop it from 630 down to 600,000. It's a $30,000 drop.
Right.
Um, you still would have that clause. Um, too. Eventually, after we get done with our trip, we will be coming back.
Uh-huh.
You had talked about needing good management. Um, you know, I'd be willing to, when I got back, maybe um, be a consultant or help you out in some
Oh
situation.
yeah, that's a good
That kind
idea.
of
Yes.
thing. So
Yes.
we could work
Definitely welcome
together
that.
as far as that concerned. But you just got to like, I would like to, for us to both be um, happy in this arrangement.
Right.
I do need a certain price point to
Okay.
walk away and be comfortable. Uh, I think your company will be able to take care of the station. Um, that's a big concern for me. So you seem to be
Right.
very knowledgeable about it, and I'm happy about that.
Okay.
I have no problem with the clause at all because I do know that my station will meet every environmental issue or audit, if you will.
Okay.
Um, and I'm
Like I said,
willing
I'll,
to,
go ahead.
I was just saying, I'm willing to work, and maybe if we could look at different things to come to a compromise
Oh yeah.
as far as the price point and other things that maybe you might be looking into. But
Okay. Well, let's say, like I said, I know I have this. I know, of course, corporate, and I can always talk to my superiors. Um, and I do see your point, and I want to make this work uh, for you
mm,
also. I mean, not just for my company. I want to make sure that you guys have a good retirement. Um, and unfortunately, the price that you're wanting is a little bit richer than my company wants to pay. So, the, what I'm going to offer is, I'm like I said, I'm sure my superior will okay this, and I'll talk with them, and I'm sure they're going to be they're fine with this amount. How I'm going to offer this, and this is going to probably be just the top line, and I won't be able to go any higher than this, unfortunately, because like I said, I don't own the company. Trust me, I would definitely like to work with you more on this. The highest I can go, and considering what we got to, unfortunately, got to spend on and get this some upgrades done, which is not too bad. I mean, like I said, you've been really taking care of us, and definitely I'm gonna say, you know, please, if you come back for your vacation, you want to do consulting and teach these guys how to really manage it right, please do. I mean, we definitely want to welcome that. The price, I'm gonna just tell you, and like I said, this is going to be the highest, unfortunately. 470,000. That is the top. Unfortunately, I cannot go higher than 470,000. I'm trying to meet in the middle, and I'm really trying to work with you.
Let me ask you something real quick, though.
Okay.
Hypothetically, we don't make a deal here, and your company has to go out and start from scratch. We talked about upgrades, right, for my facility, right? Which, I mean, you're correct. Here in 8-10 years, there might be some upgrades that are needed that will be, that could be costly. But as far as 8 to 10 years down the road, upgrades, that cost versus the cost of building your own facility right now, right? So how much do you think building your own facility right now would cost in this area?
I looked at some figures, and for what, like I said, if we were going to do it from scratch, buy the land, get the permits, you gotta get the state permits, you gotta get the promotional signage, you gotta get insurance premium, initial inventory, setting up, getting all this in course, making sure the zoning laws are what, if we can, long as we in with the zoning laws, that's like almost 750,000 just to get this going. So that's why, yours is so already well intact. It's all just perfect for us. So like I said, I definitely want to work with you, but yeah, if you're going to go from scratch, it's at least 750,000 easy.
So I guess the reason I'm asking that, and the reason I'm kind of illustrating that, was because if it's 750,000 start from scratch, you've got to realize if you were to walk away from this and start your own, from scratch, it's 750,000. Plus, you would be still in competition with my store and the other stores in the area. So the revenue that you could have been gaining just from my store will be split now with my store that's still open. Plus, you would have that $750,000 overhead. So I guess that was my consideration. And I understand as far as answering to a higher up. But, to me, looking at it, I get the upgrade situation. I completely understand that. I could see that as an issue somewhere down the line, but at the same time too, I think it's one of the ones that maybe in the overall, I think it could be, I think my store would be better than the alternative. Now, I could drop the $600,000 again. And I could probably do 575. I think 575 would be pretty good. You're still, 575 is still a lot cheaper than 750,000 plus splitting the revenue.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like I said, I just got by the higher powers. That's the highest I can go is 470,000. I wish I could do better for you guys. You seem like a really nice couple, and I really want to do what I can, but unfortunately, corporate tying my hands. Unfortunately, 470. That's the top. I cannot go any higher. because of all that my company has. And I see your point as far as, yeah, if we walk away from it and nothing, and it's a no deal, yeah, my company's going to have to go from scratch. But 470, I cannot go higher than that. I wish I could. Like I said, if I own a company, I say great. But unfortunately, corporations, they lay down that
Right.
hammer, and I wish I could do better.
It's okay. You know, I think it's I appreciate the time that you've given me. You know, as far as, you know, the offer still stands.
Yeah,
You know, 575 plus the clause. If for some reason you go back to your higher ups and you talk with them and they
mhm.
say, you know,
Yeah,
hey, this is a pretty good deal. You know, 575 with the clause, with the consideration that once I get back from the trip and everything, we would have another meeting, and you
oh
know, I would
yeah,
definitely be interested in being a consultant, or to some degree we would have some kind of long-term relationship after this
yeah.
was done.
Definitely look forward
um,
to that. Yes,
yeah, but yeah, just let me know if anything changes, and we'll go from there. But I appreciate your time. But yeah, unfortunately, with 470, there's unfortunately there's just no way that I could walk away with.
and I totally understand that. Like I said, I just wish corporate wouldn't tie my hands so much. But yeah, that's pretty much the highest. I wish I could do better for you.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I definitely will consult my consultants, my superiors, of course,
Mhm.
and see what happens. But for right now, it's the highest I can go.